This is a problem, unfortunately, with every generation, and there will be a price to pay. Only thing you're complaining about is how to have what I want without paying a price. There is no such life.
But you must understand you were not born like this.
Yes.
You were born as a helpless infant. But gratitude is a simple way of keeping some things alive within yourself, sensitive to contributions that come to your life.
Individual people have a tendency to exploit anybody who is little weaker than them. This is why a spiritual space is very important.
It's not just among human beings, especially among elephants.
This is very animalistic. It's okay for the animal kingdom, not okay for human beings.
This is why in this country, we made what is called as Varnashrama Dharma. These asylums are usually called universities or the fundamental problem is same. You want your space. They're not vacating the space. I'm talking about the caveman. In the cave, the same problem existed between the young and the old.
General statements, slogans on the street will not help. It needs pointed work. And once we breed this exclusiveness, bullying is natural.
There is no standard treatment for everybody. This is individual. This is not a problem with your generation. This is a problem, unfortunately, with every generation. I think it's very silly that every generation has the same problem. If we are in a learning mode, at least we must have a new problem, isn't it? Every generation has the same problem. Though they were also youth just 25, 30 years ago, somehow they suddenly act like they landed, just like as they are today. So, because your parents are not here, I can't talk to them, so we'll talk to you. If you want to craft your life the way you want, and what you want, if it's not in concurrence with your parents or the society in which you live in or the university in which you're studying, it can happen. What you choose may not be in line not only with your parents' choices, may not be in line with your peers' choices, may not be in line with the institution's choices, may not be in line with the society in which you live. So if you want to do your own thing, you must understand there will be a price to pay. Only thing you're complaining about is how to have what I want without paying a price. There is no such life. If you want to do what you want, and if what you want is not in line with the larger interests of what is around you, then they will make you pay a price. If what you want means so much to you, you must pay the price. But if you find the price is too much for what little you want to do, you will step back naturally. It is like going to the market, you know. You went and want to buy a few flowers, that guy says 2,000 bucks. For flowers? You say, no, I want flowers. But no, because he's asking too big a price. This is so with every step in our life. When we want to do something, there will be a price attached to it. We must evaluate, do I want to pay this price? What I want, does it mean so much to me that I'm willing to pay this price, or I'm not willing to pay this price? This is individual. There is no standard treatment for everybody. This is individual. Some people want it so badly, they're willing to pay any price. For some people, it's a passing interest, so they will drop it and they'll go on. There's nothing wrong with both are fine.
But when you say family, generally you're talking about parents and siblings and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, today you've grown up and become a young man standing on your feet, but you must understand you were not born like this.
Yes.
You were born as a helpless infant. So somebody cared enough to… someone who pees on you, who sits on you, who doesn't know how to eat, who doesn't know how to stand up, nothing. Somebody cared and made sure today you're standing up on your feet. That did not happen without any love or care, it happened, all right? Well, you may be measuring and saying, oh, some other parents are loving their children so much more, mine are not loving that much. This is a silly way to look at it, but they've made you stand up on your feet. If you have no love for them, at least have gratitude. If you lose your gratitude, unknowingly, in some way, you're kind of forsaking your humanity. Not that only if you're grateful you'll be human, that's not the point. But gratitude is a simple way of keeping some things alive within yourself, sensitive to contributions that come to your life. If you lose that, then you'll slowly become absolutely reckless and careless about everything, which is not a good thing for you. Forget about them, it's not a good thing for you.
Individual people have a tendency to exploit anybody who is little weaker than them. Well, people all over the world, this used to happen, fortunately it's come down considerably now. When we were growing up, also, every day at the school, you can get beaten for something or the other almost every day. Why are you beating a child? Simply because they're smaller than you. You even had sayings, spare the stick and spoil the child, something. So you are not beating them because you know something better. You are not beating them because you have evolved and they are unevolved and you're going to hasten evolution with a stick. Simply they're smaller than you. How come when they grow up you don't beat them? Because now you know the consequence. So similarly, they're not necessarily beating somebody because they are women. They're beating them because they're physically weaker. Compared to a man, little smaller and weaker, generally at least. So this exploitation of anybody who is weaker than you, either physically, financially, socially, whichever way, if you're a little weaker, you get rubbed around. Just about anywhere, if you don't have power, they'll push you around. Unfortunately, the world has become like this. This is why a spiritual space is very important, where people are not seen for their strength, people are not seen for their physical strength or financial strength or something else like that, but people are valued just for what they are. We need to build a society like this. Empowerment is this, that you have no need to exploit anybody. That is empowerment. A human being is truly empowered that if I sit here, I feel wonderful by myself. I don't have to have 10 people beneath me for me to feel great. This is empowerment. This empowerment has to happen means you have to look at the spiritual process, the whole world. Spiritual process does not mean looking up, looking down, it's about turning inward and getting in touch with the essential nature of who we are. If we don't touch that, we will be like every other animal. This happened one day. A lion was walking in the forest and he was feeling like this man in the domestic violence scene. Little strutting around, thinking like that. He saw a fox, he caught him and he said, "Hey, who is the king of the forest?" Fox, you know how? "Oh, my lord, you are not only king of the forest, you are the king of the universe." He felt little more, it got puffed up and then he was strutting around. Then he saw a leopard, caught him. "Who is the king of the forest?" He shivered because he is not a match for the lion. He said, "No, you are definitely the king of the forest, there is no two ways about it. If I had two choices, it would be you and you." Then he was feeling really wonderful, even a leopard is shivering in front of him. And he came to a little opening, there he saw a huge tusker standing. And he roared, "Who is the king of the forest?" The tusker, without a word, put his trunk out, picked him up, twirled him around and thrashed him on the ground. With his back hurting very badly, you could have just told me. The tusker said, but I had to make my point. So this problem, that wherever you find somebody who is little weaker than you, physically, financially, socially, politically, you want to rub them in, this is very animalistic. It's okay for the animal kingdom, not okay for human beings.
The real problem is this, the older generation do not think they are old. The younger generation think that they're old enough. That's the whole problem. The old don't want to believe they're old. Young don't want to believe they're young, they think they're old enough for everything. So, somebody is occupying the space that you want to occupy. It's not just among human beings, especially among elephants. You will see suddenly one young bull elephant going all over the place, angry, pulling out everything, because he has a fight with the bigger male elephant in the herd. He's not vacating his space. So this guy tries to fight, he cannot fight, he doesn't have the strength, so he freaks. Adolescence. So this is why this is why in this country we made what is called as Varnashrama Dharma. That means from 0 to 12 is Balavastha, childhood, just play. Body and brain should grow. 12 to 24 is Brahmacharya, time to discipline yourself, bring discipline into your body, into your mind, develop your energy so that you're a powerful being and acquire knowledge. 24 you can choose if you want to, if you see through life as you are, you don't have to go through everything, you're able to see through, then you become a sannyasi at 24. Otherwise, you become a householder, you get married. So if you get married at 24, 2 cycles of the solar cycle and 24 years, that means you're 48. That means your children are somewhere between 18 to 22. They are like the young bulls. They want you to go, but they can't say it. Today, in the modern world, we send away the children. We don't go, we send them away somewhere else. These asylums are usually called universities or But those days, because life was around agriculture, you could not leave home and go away because your land is here, your animals are here. You can't go away somewhere and make a life. Somebody has to go out. So at 48, the old couple, 48 old couple, they took sannyas and they went different ways. Husband went into one institution, wife went into another one, working on their spiritual sadhana. 12 years, 60, they came out and they once again got married. Today they don't go away, they're still together and they're still getting married at 60. Now, you're supposed to go away for 12 years. First time when you married, maybe compulsions of the body, emotion, something else took over. Now all those things are over, you've done your spiritual sadhana for 12 years, now you come together in a completely different way and go into vanaprastha, that means go into the jungle, live the last part of your life. So there was space, I'm saying. When you wanted the parents to disappear, they disappeared. Now they're not going. They want you to go. If you have found your legs in the world, you want to go, even before they let you go. But if you've not found your legs, clash. For some reason, if you've not found your legs or wings, clashes, everyday clashes between parents and children. You must understand, because of emotions, they're believing their parents are children and children. But when it comes down to life, it's just a young bull and the big bull, clashing for space, clashing for dominance. Men do it one way, women do it another way, but the fundamental problem is same. You want your space, they're not vacating the space. Clashes will happen. Children who live away always love you. Yes? Yes or no? Children who live away from you, they always love you, that's the way to keep them. If they were with you, ooh, not because you're bad or they're bad, because you need one kind of space, they need another kind of space, both are in the same space, heat will happen. Unless you have children who grown very old when they're young. You understand? You successfully made them very old people when they're still young, such people will live very compatibly with old people. If you become sick, then they may become okay, because now the emotion of wanting to take care, those kind of things will come in. But if you are well and strong and they're well and strong, oh, you must keep them away. Yes. So, this is not a new problem. I'm sure in the cave, I'm talking about the caveman. In the cave, the same problem existed between the young and the old. Because old do not believe they have grown old, young believe they're old enough for everything. So there will be something going on. How do we handle this? How do we handle this is, the old should learn to keep on stepping back. The young will keep on occupying that space. Only thing is, the old should display a certain level of wisdom and experience where the young are little overawed by the old. If you don't do that, then the young will disdain and they'll get rough in so many ways.
This has to change, but that's not going to change overnight. That needs lots of work on humanity, on individual human beings. General statements, slogans on the street will not help. It needs pointed work on individual human being. There has not been enough infrastructure to do that kind of work. So this is another thing we're doing now. All this that we're building here is infrastructure for an inclusive consciousness, which has never been done in these parts of the world. And in the East it was done plenty in the past, but nothing in the last few hundred years. Because this infrastructure is completely missing in most parts of the world, that for a human being to become a full-fledged, blossomed human being, there is no infrastructure. There's lots of infrastructure for survival, a lot. So bullying is essentially, children are doing it because they perceive that's how the world works. Everybody is using whatever power they have to beat down somebody else. People are not using the power they have to uplift somebody. You being exclusive is ridiculous. But the whole world is, at least the commercial forces on the planet, constantly telling you you are exclusive, isn't it? And once we breed this exclusiveness, bullying is natural. Bullying is not just because somebody is evil. Once exclusiveness is bred, bullying is natural. Inclusiveness is the only answer. Inclusiveness not in terms of I love you, you love me. Just clearly seeing life that it's an inclusive process. Experientially seeing it's all inclusive, there is no other way to be.